I can't even believe that this world is going like this, man. Like, just when you think you got somebody you could depend on and somebody that's going to be there positively for the rest of your life, they go and turn their back on their entire career for a shot at a 17th championship. Like, how lower can you go? Shame on you, Cena. Now, I usually review these premium live events, but I haven't been lately because I've just been very busy with life, and unfortunately, wrestling is not at the forefront of what's going on in my life right now, which is kind of a bummer because I really love wrestling, but positively, a lot of other things are going on in my life that are really good and that have taken the place of me watching wrestling. I'm actually creating more, so that's better. But anyway, with that out of the way, I'm going to talk about Elimination Chamber, y'all, because I couldn't resist to talk about it because it changed my life, man. I literally had kind of been out of the loop and been kind of listening to the hearsay about WrestleMania buildup being not that good this year for 41. But then I sat down and I watched the entire Elimination Chamber, and let's get into it, y'all. Now, first of all, every match was wonderful. I think delivered 100%, and I'm not even being positively biased. They were just 100% great matches from beginning to end. The Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus match was perfect for what it was, and it helped build the other bigger matches, but it was in a kind of weird spot because the card was just so freaking hot. I mean, we came out the gate with the return of Jade Cargill before the first match even began, and she beat the dog poop out of Naomi, who's the one who injured her possibly, but we still don't know. So we got half the answers. At the same time, we got more questions. So that was just wonderful television. You gotta love that. And the match itself was back and forth, counter for counter. It was one of the best Elimination Chamber matches, bar none for sure, I think ever. It was better than a lot of the men's matches, of the past years, to be honest. It definitely was. And to close out the match with a victory from Bianca Belair. I'm skipping over a lot there. Liv Morgan was a star in the match. Everybody was a star in the match. The match was great. Roxanne, I actually was pulling for her a lot. And then, I was really upset when she got eliminated before I thought she should, but it's okay. That's why I'm not a booker. I just watch. I'm a fan. But to have Bianca Belair go through that emotion from the beginning, being in the pod, to the end, the emotion of winning, and then still on the after show being I don't know how to feel. Great television. You could feel these matches. You could feel these storylines. And that's what made it so great and brought me out for this, because I couldn't resist reviewing this wonderful premium live event, baby. I couldn't resist it. All right, and then the second match, I believe, I ripped up the notes. There's no notes for this, so I'm just going off the top here. I think the second match was the Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. And for the match it actually shined. It actually, I think, it did great. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. It helped everybody involved. Trish looks better than ever. She looks like she's bringing justice to her return this time. Maybe the last couple of returns weren't as good as we thought they might be, but this one so far, she looks in tip-top shape. Like she might actually have a WrestleMania match and be part of the Stratton-Charlotte match maybe now. I don't know. But good television, once again, very good stuff. Nia looking like a monster out there. She deserves a spot because she's been working hard for a while for a spot, and she's finally getting her little spot. And Candice LeRae, getting some time on TV to shine as well is nice to see, because she's putting a lot of dues and not gotten a lot of TV time. So that was worth it. It was a great match. I loved it. I was into it. It was great. But like I said, these other matches, though, they were just 100 out of 100. And now we get to the next match. I'm going to try to keep this short and not go over 5 minutes here. The last match was the Elimination Chamber men's match. But before that, we have one of the best one-on-one street fight style, no holds barred, unsanctioned matches that WWE has ever pulled off by far. And to see the Wee Man match with Sami Zayn and to come from the Jackass match to this match is it's the same concept, but it's done 100% seriously and well. And you got to hand it to TKO, I think, for that, because I think they're driving the stories to be more realistic and more, just a little more violent, but not too violent, but just more realism to it, if that makes sense. And Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, you got to give it to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They absolutely took everything to each other. They used the kitchen sink. I mean, not literally, but figuratively, they used the kitchen sink for sure. They brought everything, and Sammy would not give up. I thought Sammy might, I thought they might have to call the bell or something, do like that Fiend Seth Rollins terrible disqualification that everybody hates type scenario, because it was just too devastating, all the punishment that Sammy was taking. But he actually came back and gave it his all, but it just wasn't enough, man. Kevin Owens is in a devastating, mean, nasty form, and I don't know if anybody can really beat him when he's in this form. This is top tier Kevin Owens here. I mean, you gotta love it. You gotta give the match like 100 out of 100. Like I said, again, it was just perfect from the beginning to end. It was wonderful. I mean, I was feeling every hit in the bottom of my soul. It was just really, really good stuff. And then at the end, you got the return of the legend killer, Randy Orton, and he hits an RKO. We don't even have to wait for it. Right away, off the bat, getting some revenge. Kevin Owens' face and all the emotions here are priceless. Perfect television again. Well worth the slow burn that Triple H gives us. I love it. It's hard to deal with sometimes when you're waiting, but once you get that burn, when it's slow, it comes so much harder. It's worth it. You gotta love the booking on these shows when it plays out to this perfection. It's like, the one thing I can see people getting upset about is if you pay for the Raw and SmackDowns leading up to this and you don't get like the big payoffs, and then if you pay for Elimination Chamber, you get all the payoffs. It's kind of one-sided as far as live events go. So I could see how that part is kind of a little crazy and hard to deal with from a fan perspective. But from Triple H's booking perspective, it makes a lot of sense and it makes the product hotter. So I could see that as well. But anyway, enough about the politics and the business. We're going to move on to the main event here, y'all. The Elimination Chamber match for the men's WWE Championship contention, or World Championships they could have chose, but obviously they're going to choose WWE because we already have a world title match. But anyway, we have Cena coming out the gate like the Cena of old. Big Match John is on full display here. I mean, there must have been about 6 AAs in this match. He came out the gate, just destroying everybody. Drew came out the gate at his top, at doing his best. I mean, and you really got to love Drew's character work. He's in a weird spot. There's a lot of big stuff going on, but man, Drew really, really paid a lot of the things off well in this match, and he really, really stuck to his character. You got to love his character work. And Cena was just on fire as a pure face in this match. He was doing all he could to make sure he gets that 17th title run. And CM Punk and Rollins' hate for each other kind of interfered in their winning this matchup and cost them. And then Rollins was just getting really upset. And when then John Cena and CM Punk teed up on Rollins was not happy with that. It's almost like we saw the heel authority Rollins for a few minutes in this match. And then we see a big stomp on CM Punk because Rollins was upset that he got eliminated by CM Punk from a GTS, and that causes Cena to lock it in, and Drew already got pinned from a roll-up from Damian Priest out of nowhere. Damian Priest gets eliminated from like everybody's finisher. There's just a lot of stuff I'm skipping over because I don't want to make this the longest review ever because everybody else has already reviewed this event, but my goodness, it was just good television. You can feel it in my voice, man. Like, wasn't it just wonderful television? But when Cena locks in that STF, the STFU, after CM Punk gets that stomp, there's no stomping it. There's no stopping it. Literally, that's it. The STF is locked in. Punk has to tap. Big Match John gets one of the biggest match wins of his career. Congratulations. Out comes Cody Rhodes. And we're going to see one of the biggest face to good guy matches ever. But then The Rock comes out. And The Rock comes out with Travis Scott. And I'm wondering, where's this going? And then The Rock asks for his answer for Cody Rhodes to sell his soul. And what does Cody Rhodes say? He literally says, "Go yourself." Like, wow, go yourself on WWE television. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. Even if you're against the cursing, you still gotta love it, man. It's what we've all been waiting for as adult fans. And then Travis Scott comes out with The Rock. And I'm just like, is this a satanic ritual, y'all? Like, what's about to go down here? They're burning sage in the ring. Like, what is happening, y'all? This is a crazy time we're living in now. But anyway, John Cena is super happy when Cody Rhodes tells The Rock to go himself. And I just love it because John Cena's doing that. Yeah, he's happy. He's big match John, full face, 22 years of hustle, loyalty, and respect. Never give up John Cena. And then he changes his whole face. Changes the whole game. I mean, if you thought Hulk Hogan being the third man, the NWO was something special, go and watch this if you haven't watched it. Like, it was special. It was probably one of the most special things in the last 20 years of sports entertainment by far. It just completely changed everything. It flipped everything on its head. And it did justice to the entire buildup for WrestleMania this year. Thank you, WWE, for these wonderful experiences and this wonderful programming that we get to watch. And the places this goes, I'm not going to talk too much about, the Crimson Mask and the hits to the head that Cody took and Travis Scott slapping him with a real, punch slap to the head. And I'm not going to talk about that. And The Rock really whipping him for real. I'm not going to talk about all that. But I am going to talk about the potential matches that come from this. I mean, can you imagine it? A face Penta versus a heel John Cena on Raw. Like, a face Randy Orton versus a heel John Cena during WrestleMania season. Like, there's all these things that can come from this that have changed the whole entire game of wrestling and sports entertainment as a whole. Will it ever be the same again? I don't think so. This is Ben Porter. I had to talk about Elimination Chamber 2025 because it was live. See y'all on the road to WrestleMania.